All right, let's jump right into this one. In the video, we have why Jiri Prochazka beats Jon Jones, or the long title was why Jiri Prochazka has the style to beat Jon Jones. Also, according to MMA math, because as we know, MMA math is undefeated, as Chael Sonnen says it is. MMA math part one's the off-paper math for the people that actually have knowledge of the sport and watch the sport. Jiri Prochazka, not that the guy who beat Jones 3-2, that being Dominic Reyes. And people that think Reyes beat Jones, those people are going to probably want me to play it on paper, as MMA math is rightfully played. So to be fair, I will play it rightfully. But even if we go there, this is a chat GPT flow chart. It's an interesting visual because I'm kind of tired of, putting the micro-sized images of all the fighters in there. If you're familiar with the channel, I do a lot of MMA math videos, and I do these little micro pictures, stack them all up. I don't want to do that. If we play it on paper, you still get Jiri Prochazka, bottom left here. Moves up. He beat Glover Teixeira, who beat Rimo Terry Sokaju, in the middle there, who moved down, beat Matt Hamill, beat Jon Jones on paper, of course. According to Demetrius Johnson, still counts, and he's one of the GOATs. If you break the rules, you lose. You cheat, still counts, still lost. On paper, a loss. You know how it goes. Now, the real reason number one, is that Jones has horrible boxing. It's horrid, it's dog crap, another word I don't really want to say. You can fill in the blanks if you're an educated adult, or even at the age of reason, but I'm not going to say it. Nothing is more overrated than Jones boxing. Nothing is. The defense, more specifically boxing defense. Guy doesn't move his head. He just shells up with the high guard or extends those arms out. We'll talk about that on the next slide. But most of the time, he just eats shots on the chin. He's got a good one, thankfully, so we can kind of hide it, but he reacts terribly to being hit. I mean, Stipe, who was 41 years old, had no power, was basically immobile, in great shape, though. Still was hitting Jones, and he was reacting. The eyes were closed. The head was bobbing back. Not so good. Not a good look. Not a good look, man. I'm almost trying to think of the one that fought Reyes as well. Still was reacting not so good to Reyes' shots. And as we know, well, you get the up kick, I guess, but Jiri was handling the Reyes shots decently. I mean, Jiri also gets chinned, basically stung. Stung is the word, not chinned, but like stung every fight, except he doesn't get stung bad. Anyways, people make the argument that Jones hasn't really been like dropped. I mean, he's been dropped. I'm pretty sure. I mean, Thiago Santos had that one weird thing where it's like the knee, did it hit, did it not hit? And there was that body shot drop to Reyes. That's what I remember off the top of my head. No. Gus never dropped him. Gus took him down. That was the thing in the first fight. So he's never been dropped, or KO'd, or whatever. But, like, who really cares, though? 41-year-old Stipe with no power was landing legit hard shots on Jones, stunning him, bro. It hurt him. It clearly did hurt him. That's why I started running away from Stipe, who was 41 and immobile, essentially. Not a prime Stipe. We're not talking about the Stipe that knocked out Overeem, or Stipe that knocked out JDS, or Andre Arlovsky. We're talking about the Stipe that was 41 years old and was immobile. Now, Jones also has no power. People are going to say, the Gustafsson fight, bro. It's like a Gustafsson fight. Jones was juicing to the gills, bro. And Jones is being fairly tested and not, literally given a free pass to do steroids and get the event moved so doesn't have to face suspension. He doesn't have great power. This has kind of been a thing. He does not have that one-punch knockout power. Even though it was a TKO and Gus, was it? So it was really one-punch knockout power. Was it really legit hard power? Like, he doesn't really, like, boom, drop someone, knock them out flat unconscious on the floor. You know what I mean? Just going to say that. That's a factor with Jiri. Remember, Jiri was countered because of Alex's insane one-punch power. Jones is a reach merchant. This is what I was going to say earlier. Now, why did Reyes and Gus, in my opinion, Gus, the first fight, debatable, beat Jon Jones? Why did Santos give him trouble? I honestly had it 3-2 Jones my first watch of Santos. I watched it again, had it 3-2 Santos, so I'm a little bit split there. I think it can go either way. When I watch a fight twice and have it split either way, I think it can go either way. I might have to do my due diligence and watch the third. I watched Reyes 3 times. I literally hit it 3-2 Reyes all 3 times. I don't understand how anyone finds that narrative like believable. I don't find the 3-2 Jones narrative believable. Some Jones fan wants to write me an educated paragraph. I'm not going to read it, but you can take your time by the day to do it anyways. Hopefully I caught the Jones glazers on this one. Hopefully I caught this. I can't say the point of the video. I'll say it at super end to people that are actually listening and watching, like the real true fans here. Anyway, they were able to break the space. Jones sticks that long 84-inch. We'll talk about that reach out, right? And you can't really do much. There's not much you can do. He pokes you in the eye, he puts his hand on your face, and it's hard to break that space. Except when you have super long arms as well, you can kind of break that space. Even if you don't necessarily hit him, you can still push him back, push him forward, or push him into the range you want, back him up to the cage. You can still do things, manipulate him in a way that you want when you can break that space. But when you're a little 5'9", short, tubby guy like DC, you're going to get cooked, basically. But Reyes and Gus and Santos had the size and reach to challenge Jones's, the spaces, I call it, the bar, the wall, whatever you want to say, the eye poke territory. Jones literally just sticks his arm out, doesn't move his head, keeps the other hand by his chin, just in case he has to, grab the back of his head, just cover up, shell up. That's all he does. doesn't move his head, and just steps back. His main defensive point is just stepping back, eating it on the chin. It's very hittable. He is very hittable. Once he's made that step back, once you've initiated with the jab, very easy to follow up with the cross or an uppercut. It's very easy to follow up with something. Once you've made that initial jab, very hittable. People say, "Oh, it's the defense." It's true though. It's true. That's how Reyes will beat him because he's very hittable once he steps back. Yuri's at that size. We can break up that range, break up that distance. Given they say he's listed at 80 inches. For me, he's probably 81. Could be 82 even. I think his measurements are 1 or 2 inches off. If you see him next to Jamal Hill, there's a great photo of him next to Jamal Hill, like when they were initially beefing before the fight. Back when Yuri, back in the days when Yuri maybe turned in the belt. Maybe right before that actually. There's a photo of him next to Jamal Hill where it's like he looks way bigger than Jamal Hill, and Jamal Hill is supposed to be the exact same height, and he's like way taller. Also got the big broad shoulders too, which does create the illusion. But still, that's still an argument. We'll talk about the UFC spoofing measurements. I wasn't make a video on this, but it's not interesting enough, so I'm just gonna have the little mini section in the video here. I say that Yuri is 6'4", 81-inch reach. I will die on that hill. You can argue with me about the exact precise measurements and the science and this and that, but we'll get into it. Some notable reach references. Chuck Liddell listed at 76 inches as an 80-inch reach, but basically a lot of people said around Chuck. Chuck himself said that the UFC measurements were way off. I believe it was 76.5 that they gave him. Robelis to Spain, obviously longest reach of 87 inches. Could even be longer or shorter. Very interesting. Stephen Struve is the one they say he has the same reach as Jon Jones, and there's actually no shot that he's 6'11" man is the same reach as Jon Jones. It just doesn't exist. It's probably 56 or 85. I saw the 5 and the 6. To 86 inches in actuality, it's definitely way longer than 84.5, given he's literally 7 foot tall. Some noticeable spoofed heights as well, and this is where we get interesting. Nate Diaz, from all sources around, Nate Diaz is around 6'1" to 6'2" in actuality. There's a debate whether I believe 6'1" and 3/4 was the official measurement, and then it was 6'1" and 1/2. I saw. At the end of the day, if you go look at in the lightweight division fighting guys that are shorter, it looks bad on paper to say guys 6'1" fighting guys like 5'7" or 5'8". You know what I mean? That's interesting when Eddie Alvarez listed at 5'9", because him and Conor are supposed to be the same height, and there was a noticeable height discrepancy. Conor might actually be bigger. I believe Eddie Alvarez is just shorter. That's my thing. Jamal Hill I mentioned here is one, same thing, 6'1", might actually be 6'2". We already talked about DC already. We kind of know this one. DC's 5'9". It's pretty clear that DC is a 5'9" dude. If you look at photos like him, like Khabib and Kane, he's shorter than them, and that's not a good sign. Pereira is 6'5". Alex Pereira probably even 6'6". I mean, look at the photo of him next to 6'4" Izzy at the weigh-ins in the UFC, and look at him next to 6'7" Robelis to Spain. Anderson Silva is probably the most fascinating one. This is real, by the way. Approved by the UFC. Listed on the official broadcast. He has heights anywhere from 5'11" up to 6'2". And it's very strange considering he was noticeably shorter than Chris Weidman, who I believe is 6'1", 6'2"-ish. Noticeably shorter. So the guy could be 5'10". The guy legit could be. Anderson Silva could be 5'10". We could have been wrong this entire time. Dustin Poirier is 5'8". I hate to say it, but it's true. He just has the broad shoulders and the long arms, makes him seem like he's 5'9" or 5'10", but he's 5'8". Then there's a theory that Jones is actually 6'2" this entire time, which is interesting because he has mugshots. He's a convicted felon. He has mugshots which support the notion of him being 6'4". But camera angles are, if we need that Asian dude on Instagram that measures the height based off objects, that dude is awesome. I forgot his name. Everyone forgets his name too. It was the Asian dude, so they kind of refer to him as. But I'm not trying to be racist here. We literally just call him the Asian dude. I forgot his name too. You know exactly what I'm talking about though if you are an Instagram reel or a TikTok person. Dang, we're 9 minutes in already talking about them. Anyways, the factor of camera angles and also the fact that the smaller the inches go, the more unreliable the measurement is. Also, the back of the measurement for a mugshot is generally just give a decent suspect profile. It doesn't have to be the exact science. It's just a suspect profile because they're physically already there. You know what I mean? Anyways, reason number 3, Yuri didn't let you bully you, man. There's no notes on this one. I use the notes of height. Yeah, a lot of the Jones captures mind games. He calls you bad words. He gets himself angry, which might give you, oh, it's angry. He's Jon Jones. He's a felon. He's this. Yuri don't care. He builds Jones tries to build this image of he's this unbeatable guy that's gonna murder you and drag you on deep waters. Bro has no power. Bro has soft hands, basically. Yuri, bro, doesn't care. Samurais slay dragons and stuff. They're very high level warriors. Who cares? What is a tall, skinny black man gonna do compared to a dragon? Honestly, when you're Samurai Yuri, might as well just call Jones a racial slur. I have a feeling Yuri would do it. No issue with Yuri. It's just the man gets angry. The man gets violently angry sometimes. He's just developed a reputation as a chill guy, but he's definitely a split personality disorder or something. He just locks in and he gets violently angry. He has a dark side that he keeps, and he's very open about it, thankfully. But he's still our chill guy, you know. But overall, though, Yuri doesn't let you bully him. Like the Rakic fight is the prime example. When Rakic was beating the crap out of him, I think he put up 2 strikes in a round, and everyone's like, "Oh no, it's over. Yuri's this, Yuri's that," and then Yuri comes back, just knocks him out easily, dismantles him, takes away his aura, takes away his persona. Just ego death, I believe, as the Trips would say to Rakic, bro. Rakic is done. Completely over. There's nothing Rakic can do. It's over for Rakic, bro. Basically, is what Yuri did to him. Yuri doesn't let you bully him. That's very clear. The next thing is that Jones struggled in the Open St. Proof fight. Hold on, I gotta snag my charger real quick because apparently we're at 20%. But the Open St. Proof fight is one where, yes, on paper he did dominate him. He had a lot more significant strikes. But my GOAT, Chael Sonnen, everyone's GOAT, basically said that Jones did that off of IQ and grit, and he was figuring things out. But he did have some struggles against the unconventional nature of OSP. Which, if you're struggling with a can like OSP, imagine how unconventional this new, Yuri with insane power. Yuri's got one punch knockout power. People forget this. Yuri just literally was in the wrong time at the wrong place in the Alex Pereira fight. Yuri has probably the second best. We got to see what it is against Ankalaev. We got to see how he hits Ankalaev. I want to say the best, but I don't know. We have to see how he hits Ankalaev. But cracked out Desmir. Cracked. Just a little chinny. That's true. He did knock out Reyes, but I don't know. Yuri's got some good power. We know this. Most of Yuri's wins come by knockout. He's got a boxer's resume in MMA, which is absolutely insane. But yeah, Yuri's unlocked this flow state with the head movement and all this. He will punish you for your mistakes. He will not let you get away with it, unlike OSP, the can, it goes. Now, Yuri is way too unpredictable and unique, and this kind of goes back to the OSP thing, where it's like the unconventional nature of OSP had Jon Jones struggling. Jon Jones likes to analyze your favorite combo, your second favorite combo, you're this. Yeah, you've seen the Joe Rogan clip because half the Jones fans watch everything from TikTok. Except Yuri doesn't have those. Yuri just does whatever Yuri feels like. He's an insanely deep bag as well. I mean, he doesn't even show it. He has elbows. He has the clinch game. He has a Muay Thai background. Muay Thai was the first thing. That flying knee he was killing people with and Ryzen and didn't use it. He's got good leg kicks as well. Very hard, quick leg kicks. Doesn't use them. Good jiu-jitsu in the back pocket. All these things doesn't use. I mean, what? On top of what he does, though, he switches stances mid-step. He'll throw an uppercut from a foot out just because he can. He'll duck forward with his head, like feint and jab to the body. All of a sudden, it's a rear uppercut. And you're like, what just happened? That stuff Jones can't prepare for because Yuri doesn't even know he's preparing for. Yuri just lets the body take over. He's just so well trained and so well versed. Things just happen. Attacks come. And I think for Jones, a guy that likes to analyze things and know your patterns, it's going to be tough to really get reads off Yuri. And I think in that first fight with Alex, people forget that fight ever existed. I just rewatched it literally last night. Or 2 nights ago. Sorry, 2 nights ago. Yuri was hurting Alex. He legit did more damage to Alex than Izzy knocked him out, but anyone else did, essentially, other than Izzy, in the octagon. Khalid was never legitimately ready to finish Alex. Yuri was legit about to finish Alex. He was close, extremely close. Super that fight super misinterpreted. It was just one shot that Alex got clipped. Yuri agreed with the knockout, cool. But Yuri was landing because Alex couldn't get Yuri's reads. He didn't understand, and he's got great IQ as well. Didn't understand what was going on. Yuri was just throwing these things at him, switching stances, ducking his head, throwing the hooks, throwing this. You can't understand what's going on with Yuri. It's hard to get reads with Yuri mid-fight when there's just this big Czech man just charging at you with no regard for his own health and long-term brain health, right? No regard. Jones likes to play the game, do the tango, do the dance, stay on the outside, establish the leg kick, establish the jab, then he can get his grappling going. Except when Yuri's just going just right at you, boom, bam, bop, just throwing these unorthodox combos, these angles. The hands are down too, so they're coming from these angles you can't see. You can't see the punches. It's too unpredictable and unique for a guy like Jones to really use that style of breaking you down from range, breaking down the game, breaking down as a human being, not just a fighter. That's what Jones loves to do. Yuri is too unpredictable. It's not stable enough. This is why he doesn't want to fight Aspinall as well, because Aspinall doesn't have a lot of tape out there. Yuri has a lot of tape out there, except his tape changes all the time. You know what I mean? It's going from color to black and white to green scaled, right? It's changing too much. There's no consistent color shade of the tape. The tape is all over the place. Tape's on the floor. Tape's on the ceiling. There's no consistency to the tape. You know what I mean? That's why I think Yuri really gives Jones that tough fight. Now, the only thing I will say is this grappling. I think Yuri can survive in the grappling regard. Yuri's got solid jiu-jitsu. I know a lot of people say the Glover win was a fluke submission because Glover made a lap adjustment, but still, Yuri was slithering around. He was staying alive. He was doing things from bottom. He was actually doing things, especially when he was gassed. It was tired. It was deep rounds. He got beat up really bad. He stayed alive in that fight. There's some grit that doesn't. I won't let you bully a mentality Yuri has, whereas Jones takes advantage of guys that can be bullied usually. 68 minute takedown defense could pose a lot of trouble given Jones takes you down and has great takedowns, but I think Yuri would be able to get the better of exchanges because he won't be able to get subbed. Yuri said, I don't play jiu-jitsu. I try to get ground and pound. Yuri's going to fight for his life, for his honor, for his discipline, for his whatever the samurai code is, for top position. He's not just going to let you maintain control over him. He's going to do things. He's going to scramble. He's going to spaz. He might even try to throw up a submission just to get you into the position he wants you to be. He's only been subbed once, and that was 12 years ago in his 8th fight, which really can't go off given his insane inactivity, activity, not inactivity, insane activity. Guy's a boxer, wasn't MMA, and he's developed a ton throughout that 12-year period. I know, but here's the thing: Jones fans are the type of guys to think that Aspinall is bad because he got heloed by some random English dude like 5 years ago because they don't watch the sport. They just watch it through reels, bro. I'm sorry, I'm so annoyed. There are good Jones fans out there. Honestly, I think the Jones fan base is better than the Khabib fan base. I really do, because there are some Jones fan bases that are actual guys who are diehard for the sports and watch the sport and have watched Jones develop their career. But probably about 70% of the Jones fan base is just 15-year-olds, or really 14, like really 12 to 14-year-olds who watch the UFC through reels and think they can fight and think they can break down the sport and that they have the genius mind that they are. Same people that glazes a beat. There's just like the TikTok UFC fan. Those are basically most of the Jones fan base, unfortunately. My official prediction: I think Jiri Prochazka by around 3 TKO/KO. I really think he has the power to beat up Jones on the feet. I think it'll be a standing TKO off damage and unanswered shots, more like a Brady Muhammad type KO. I think especially because Jones is a bit chinny now. It's not as good. I don't want his chimney. It's chinny. He's getting tested, so I don't think he has enough. I think Jones still has a good enough chin where he won't get flatlined, but I still think Yuri can crack that old chin of Jones and get a knockout. I was looking more at Jones at 33 when he fought Reyes. That's kind of what I'm taking into perspective. Like the last version of light heavyweight Jones we saw, which was 5 years ago now. I am not looking at 37-year-old Jones because Yuri in reality finishes him in like literally around like 2 minutes. But people are not able to accept reality that Jones is just old and washed and slow and it's just not good. He's still Jon Jones. He has the IQ and the grappling you can't take away from him, but he's just not good. He's so slow. So slow. It's actually insane how slow he's become. He was never really that athletic and really fast, but it's like really bad now. It's very noticeable now. But again, Jones fans don't watch the sport and can't accept reality. Anyways, that's kind of just upload I want to throw out there. This is really a litmus test to see how many of my fans actually watch my videos and actually know the sport. Because there are some fans of mine that I think are kind of stupid, and there are some that I think are kind of educated. So I want to see. Half of this video is rage bait. You can probably figure out which parts were and which parts weren't. There is some legit points. Like my official prediction and towards the end is actually legit, but most of it is rage bait. So we'll see how many of you actually stay through the video to learn that it's rage bait. I think a lot of people are just going to comment rage bait off the bat, but they won't actually watch the video and realize that I did actually analyze the situation and break things down instead of just shouting it out to the universe. If I really, really wanted to do this video, it would have been probably like an hour long, breaking it down, common opponents, this, that. I just wanted to get something out there and just to do a little litmus test on my fan base. But anyways, thanks for watching and God bless.